Good evening and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. I am Mohammed Abdurrahim. Tonight we'll be talking about space technology, which is no longer a luxury, but a must and a necessity for the development of societies and economic development and progress as a whole. And we'll be doing that in the company of our dear guest here in the studio, Dr. Muhammad Murad, who is an associate professor at the Space Communication Department at the Faculty of Space Navigation, Beni Suef University. And Dr. Murad is also the director of the Space Navigation Applied Science Program at Beni Suef National University. A very good evening to Dr. Murad, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening for you, and it's my pleasure and honor to be with you here in your valuable program and in Nile TV.
Thank you very much, Dr. Murad. Pleasure and honor is ours. Allow us, please, and allow us, the viewers, first to watch a report on the topic and then come back and start our discussion.
Egypt has one of the earliest and most robust space programs in Africa. With 2 launched satellites, Space City under construction, the operationalization of the African Space Agency in the country, several bilateral agreements in advancements in space technology, and other satellite projects in various development stages, Egypt led the African space technology development in 2023. Some of its most remarkable collaboration is the Capacity and Technology Agreement with China, which led to the launch of the Horus 1 and 2 satellites earlier in 2023 to combat climate change and the impact of urbanization on its arable lands, and the development and testing of the Misr-Sat-2 in Egypt's state-of-the-art assembly, integration and testing facility. Furthermore, Egypt's Space City project continues to progress with monumental steps towards leveraging space technology for the economic advancement. The newly operational African Space Agency, headquartered in the Egypt Space City, was inaugurated in January 2023, and the Egyptian Parliament approved hosting the agency in June 2023. In an interview, Dr. Sharif Sadki, the CEO of the Egyptian Space Agency, discussed more about the country's space vision for 2023, its achievements and goals for the coming year. He said that the Egyptian Space Agency had several objectives for this year. The first was the completion of the AIT facility, which the agency managed to finish in time. It is considered to be the largest in Africa and the Middle East. The facility can handle satellites weighing up to 650 kilograms and run all 7 major tests a satellite needs to undergo. The second goal was to complete 2 satellite missions. The Misr-Sat-2, a 350 kilogram satellite with 2 payloads combined, was tested at the AIT facility. The satellite can give imagery with a 2-meter resolution. It is ready and was launched on the 4th of December 2023 in China. The satellite has various applications, including precision agriculture in Egypt and Africa, urban development and water and natural resources management. The agency is working hard toward commercializing the Misr-Sat-2 once it gets launched, not only locally but globally, and it is looking to share its knowledge and data with other African countries. Another of its objectives was the completion of its Earth receiving station, which will be used to control the Misr-Sat-2. The second satellite that is needed to complete is the NextSat microsatellite that will be launched on the 30th of January 2024. Additionally, the Egyptian Space Agency facilitated a lot of training programs. It is on the CLIMCAM project, a joint initiative between Egypt, Kenya, and Uganda. The team from the other countries are working on site at the Egyptian Space Agency to develop a remote sensing camera, which will be placed on the Ptolemy platform of the International Space Station. The agency has also conducted several training programs for African engineers from 16 countries and are trying to localize small satellite manufacturing and assembly technologies. Egypt is also working on finalizing the Egypt Space City, which is the headquarters of the African Space Agency. This year, the agency focused on building space infrastructure. In 2024, the focus will be on commercializing its satellite imagery data.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us, dear viewers. You're still watching Business Insider, and space technology and sustainable development is our topic, along with Dr. Mohammed Murad from Bani Suef University and Bani Suef National University as well. Dr. Murad, so the importance of space technology and communications in today's world.
Actually, as you start your talk, the space technologies are not a luxury now, but it's mandatory and the must technology to save people. Actually, it can support in all the SDGs or the Sustainable Development Goals, which are updated by the United Nations. Actually, the 17 SDGs, space technology can evolve and can share, and it has a good aspect and a good impact actually in all the SDGs.
All of them?
Yeah, starting from the overcome the poverty, to enhance the life actually of the people all over the world, to facilitate their life actually in communication, in health, and in agriculture, all of the aspects and all of the fields, space actually involved in it. First of this, we can say that here we are staying in the program, and millions of people can watch us using the satellite, and
Right.
due to the satellites, NileSat as an example.
Right.
After that, when I came to you now, I am using GPS. It's a type of the global navigation satellite system, one of the global navigation satellite system, and other systems like GLONASS and other systems to make the navigation process for the people to go and back. Not also for the people, but for ships, for airplanes. How can ships or airplanes can navigate or can move using these satellites? In another way, also in agriculture, we can, how can we decide this part of the land is suitable for a specific type of plants, and the other for other types according to the water, according to the moisture of the soil. This also can be using the remote sensing, which is used for the remote sensing satellites. Also in the communication system, I think all of us make the communication over the internet and over the mobile communications, but also satellite supports in both and in long term and long distances communication as well.
Beautiful examples that you've given. What about the health sector? I mean, it's not very obvious to all of us.
Yes, the health sector actually we can in the space supporting by many terms. The first term in the health sector, all the inventions, in the, or most of the inventions to be very accurate, made by the space firstly, and then applied on the land. Actually, due to the space is a very accurate system, so the surgery is a very accurate process. So the accuracy of the space is much higher than this. So we can use the accuracy in this. Actually, remote health or remote caring, you can be here in Egypt, but actually you are treated using in German. But this can be done actually using the telemedicine. Telemedicine also can be done, yes, using the satellites, because
that was very evident during the coronavirus pandemic.
Yes, you can say about that. So satellites can make the communication and also to support in health of the people actually.
So actually, space technology is part of most of what we do in life, but we don't realize it. I mean, but listening to you, wow, I mean, it's always with us. I mean, that's what you're saying.
Yes, the space actually involved in each our life now, because we are in the era of technology. I think we now in the era of satellite or of the space, because who can own the space, can own the land, can own the technology, can own the all the treasures in his lands, inside the land or on the land, on the sea or under the sea. So you can, using the remote sensing as an example, you can know everything in your lands. In the another way, also the capacity or the building, you can say something like the planning, okay, the strategic planning of all countries are now based on the satellite communication systems or the satellite systems.
Right, Dr. Murad. Before I ask you about the Egyptian state's measures to support the applications and the study of space technology, I'm sure many of our viewers have the same question. Are the leaders in today's space technology the same leaders that we know globally? I mean, the US, the 5 permanent Security Council members, the the industrialized nations, the G7, the G20, the BRICS, and so on, Egypt and Africa in the middle. I mean, you tell us, are they the same leaders or are they somehow different? And where are we exactly?
Yes, actually, it's a good question. To be honest, actually, there are categories of countries. There are some are developers and some others are users for this technology. Actually, from about 25 years when we launched the NileSat 101, we were just users. We just bought it and launched it using the France Space Agency, and we just use its applications, but we didn't share in its design and its testing, integration, and other process to know or to know the technology itself, or to have the knowledge. But actually, Egypt now, after 25 years, we launched it from about 3 weeks, I think, EgyptSat 2. EgyptSat 2, yes, it's fully integrated, tested, and assembled here in Egypt in the Space City with EXA, the Egyptian
we
Space
talked about
Agency.
it here
yes,
on Business Insider.
So I'd like to go to the point that developing countries at the past were users, but now are sharing to develop, and actually there are partners, not just users like the past. And this is the point that you are in the right side or not.
Right, right. We hear a lot about the term, the democratization of space. Are we witnessing democratization of space, or is it the same like in our Earth, where a country could be killing thousands of civilians, women and children, and another country would veto any resolution against that country, although this country is breaking all kind of humanitarian laws, international laws, Geneva Conventions, and everything?
Actually, I think who have the power on the space or on the land, but now on the space, he have the democratization. It's not fully democratized, I think, but who have the power, who can.
So there is an ugly veto out
yes,
there.
like that. But I think now the space laws still under construction and not settled for sure.
So we have a chance.
Yes,
I mean, the developed countries have a chance.
Yes, if we continue in our way to be a partner, to be a users, we have a chance.
Dr. Murad, so time now, I guess, to talk about the state measures here in Egypt to support the study and applications of space technology.
Here in Egypt?
Yes.
Yes. I think here in Egypt we make a lot of steps, actually. The developing steps started from about 2018, actually, when we started the Egyptian Space Agency. At the same time, we need to have to build actually the humans and to build the technicians, to build the engineers who can be a part of the space program. So at the same time, in the educational part, actually, we established faculty like the Faculty of Navigation Science Space Technology, which is specialized in the space technologies and space science. At the same time, also a lot of programs related to space in engineering sectors and in science sector here in Egypt also started to support. So after 5 years now, from 2018 until now, we have raw material or human resources. Actually, they can support. So we have a parallel ways. On the land, we made the space city. Inside the space city, we have the Egyptian Space Agency. The African also Space Agency, the main building is here in Egypt, inside the city. Also, we have
Where is it exactly, Dr. Murad?
it's on the ring road, actually.
Okay.
The middle ring road.
Okay.
It's I think يعني on the opposite to the new capital.
Okay.
Yes, here
Okay.
in Egypt. It's about 500, I think. Yes, it's a very huge city, including the Space Agency of Egypt and African Space Agency and AIT
So
Center.
it's very close to the new administrative capital.
Yes, it's
Okay.
opposite to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So it's a strategic place. I think it's a very good place. Inside it, also the I think the only one AIT center, which is assembly, integration, and testing center. This is to assemble, integrate, and test all types of satellites, starting from the small satellite until the middle satellites, and it is a very powerful point. This is with the cooperation with the Chinese part.
Yeah, so I want to ask
Yes.
about the collaboration with international partners. How important is it indeed in moving our program forward?
Yes, actually, I think Egypt make a good played a good way in this part, because there is no one partner for us. We have already partners with the Chinese, with NASA, with ESA, the European Space Agency, also with Japan, also JAXA, French before, and now also still Nilesat 301. I think from about 7 or 8 months, which we launched it. Cooperation with France, also with Russia. So we have multi partners actually, and this is good.
The US as well?
Yes, very good, because each one of our partners have a point of strong in something in remote sensing, in broadcasting, and also to make exchange of expertise.
And who's number one globally?
For sure.
Okay,
NASA.
I know the answer. I don't want to hear
For sure,
it again.
NASA, yeah.
Okay, the V2 owners. So,
yes.
The current Egyptian satellites and their role in the national objectives.
Okay, actually, Egypt now have, I think, 3 main categories of satellites. The first category and the first category they launched were the Nilesats, which is the satellites used for broadcasting the channels, our TV channels, and for communication. Actually, we started satellite Nilesat 101, and we then updated to 301. It's one of the most new generations of these satellites. This is the first category. The second category is the remote sensing satellites. Remote sensing satellites, these are satellites who have cameras, and the multi-spectral cameras, which can make sense and photos and images for the whole Egypt, for the on the land and inside the land, on the water, and maybe inside the water also. It's a very important satellite. The last one from about 3 weeks, EgyptSat 2.
Right.
This already actually launched by the Chinese partner, but it's assembled, integrated, and tested here in Egypt in AIT Center in Space City. The third category, also the something like Tiba satellite. Tiba satellite launched from 2019. It's a communication satellite to support us for internet and for communication systems. And I think it started actually to begin its services here in Egypt.
Dr. Murad, the incubating space startups, how was space technology beneficial to the startups?
Yes, actually, I think it is a very good step for here in Egypt. Actually, we should connect the training and the education with the practical and with the outputs for the practical. So when the EXA, the Egyptian Space Agency, as a partner with the Academy of Scientific Research, make the incubators for the graduates, especially who are have ideas in space technologies, to support them to make a new startup projects, new startup companies. About 9 startup projects this year. I think with each one have about 300,000 Egyptian pounds to start, to just start, and they already make them to have offices inside the space city, and it's a very, very good chance for them. Why? Because I think the vision of Egypt now is that the space projects are very, very, very mandatory for us in all aspects, like the agriculture. Some of these startup projects related to how to analyze the images of the satellite to get from them how to make the strategic urban planning. Okay, another for agriculture and make classifications of our plants. You say how can we know that the type of this plant of this agriculture in Egypt, how many wheels in Egypt, for example, who can know the number of fruit plants?
Right.
Who can?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
One final question, but a very brief answer, please.
Yes.
Where are we in the potential of space technology globally? I mean, are we at 50%, 30%, 10%, 90% in your estimation? I know it's a difficult question.
Yes. In my overview, actually, space is very, very, very deep.
Yeah.
But I think in this time, we should concentrate on how space serve us here in Egypt and in our vision. So our vision now is not to explore the deep space and the other planets. It's not our mission. But I think our mission now is to enhance the life of our people.
As far as Egypt is concerned. What about globally? Where has the world, I mean, how much do we still have to go?
Yes.
And the science of space technology?
I think we can divide it into 3 sectors. So we are in the top of the first sector, that we try to know how to make the satellites is the first and the important thing. The second is to explore, and I think it's not our
Sorry again,
vision.
but I have to end it here, and I hope that we continue our discussion, because we still have much more to talk about in this very important subject, space technology and sustainable development. It's the future, really. On behalf of you, dear viewers, we thank very much Dr. Mohammed Murad,
Thank you
the Associate Professor at Space Communication Department at Faculty of Space Navigation, Beni Suef University, also the Director of the Space Navigation Applied Science Program at Beni Suef National University. It's been a great pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Goodbye.